Welcome to Men of Legend, you legend. I'm Paradox, and I'm on a mission to inspire red-pilled men like yourself to forget about women and go your own way, the wise way, so that you get to live your very best life by becoming your very best self.
Okay, well, this has been weird. You seem like you're in the middle of a manic break.
What's that you say? Why do I want you to forget about women? Am I gay or something? No, I'm just the wisest motherfucker in the room. You see, even if you're a young, dumb and full of cum, horny goat boy with a raging libido that means you just have to get laid, the best way to do that is to forget about women.
These ain't opinions. These are facts.
Because the one thing all the hottest women find irresistible about men is indifference. Women are turned on by men who don't care about them. But that begs the question, how the fuck does a young, dumb and full of cum, horny goat boy who's desperate to get laid, or for that matter, a sad OnlyFans subscribing simp who's desperate for intimacy and female validation,
it's a sign of being a beta male,
or a man who grew up in that rarest of things, a healthy, functional family, and so yearns for a family of his own and kind of needs a woman for that, how do all these guys just forget about women? Simple. They dedicate themselves, mind, body, and spirit, to the purpose of a man's life.
What the fuck is that?
But what if they don't know their purpose? I hear you protest. What do you mean they don't know their purpose? It's fucking obvious.
What did you say, nigga?
What is the purpose of an acorn? What is the purpose of a tadpole? What is the purpose of a caterpillar? What is the purpose of a baby boy? The answer to every one of those questions is the same. To self-actualize.
I know it's not rocket science, but it seems like it's pretty difficult for you to figure out.
An acorn self-actualizes by becoming an oak tree. A tadpole self-actualizes by becoming a frog. A caterpillar self-actualizes by becoming a butterfly. And a baby boy self-actualizes by fulfilling its potential physically, mentally, and spiritually. Obviously.
Does the word duh mean anything to you?
In other words, the purpose of a man's life is to self-actualize. That is, to become the very best version of yourself, physically, mentally, and spiritually.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Now, many men are attempting to become the very best version of themselves within the physical and mental dimensions of their being, because to compete for resources and status as a man, so you can attract hotter women, you need to be able to compete physically so you can outwork other men. And you need to be able to compete mentally so you can outthink other men. The problem is, the vast majority of men completely ignore the most important dimension of their being. The spiritual dimension.
What the hell is even that?
Why? Well, it's complicated, but basically because the 300-year-long ideological battle between Christianity,
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong.
scientific materialism,
Erroneous! Erroneous! Erroneous on both counts.
and radical atheism
Listen to me, you're wrong. And if you don't get it, I feel sorry for you.
has left most men with absolutely no clue what the spiritual dimension of their being is, or even worse, left them believing it doesn't exist at all.
You disrespect yourself and your nation. You are made of stupid.
But never fear, the wisest motherfucker in the room is here to clear up all the confusion about your spiritual dimension, just like I did about your purpose as a man.
I will be your champion.
The spiritual aspect of your being is the aspect that is the correct answer to the three most important questions in life. Who am I, really? Where am I, really? And why am I really here?
Oh my God. I get it.
blood of my blood.
The spiritual part of you is your deeper identity, your existential location, and your higher purpose. From my perspective, all of the men who focus solely on the physical and mental aspects, because they're scientific materialists and radical atheists who don't believe in spirit, consciousness, free will, or that anything exists that is not physical energy and matter,
You actually this stupid.
are like three-legged stools with one broken leg.
Damn.
They are completely dysfunctional.
Damn.
That dysfunction shows up as a lack of inner peace, a lack of natural joy, and a lack of creative genius.
Something is wrong with you.
No man that does not know who he really is, or where he really is, or why he's really here can ever truly be at peace.
That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
Now, I know there are certain activities which seem to bring you peace, like fishing.
Really, nigga?
But any peace that requires you to do something to get it is a peace not worthy of the name.
Correct.
The whole point of peace is that it just is and requires no effort.
Now listen. That's called motherfucking bars, nigga. You know nothing about that.
True peace comes from knowing who you really are, where you really are, and why you're really here.
Alright, I get it.
I can see what he's doing. I can see it. I feel it. He's cooking.
And if you don't know the most important things to know about yourself, you can't know peace.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
No.
In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
No.
That's why you can't silence your own mind for 10 seconds straight. Try it now. Try not to think a single thought for 10 seconds. Go. See? You can't do it.
How could you not see this coming?
You have no inner peace.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Your peace is robbed by the voice in your head that never shuts up, that you think is you.
Yep.
That unconscious, compulsive thinking that robs you of your peace of mind is caused by the fact that you don't know who you really are, where you really are, and why you're really here.
Please! Please! No!
Now, don't get me wrong. I know that some of you think you know the answers to those questions because you have religious or scientific or atheist beliefs about who you really are. For example, God's creation.
What?
Where you really are. For example, in a purposeless deterministic universe. And why you're really here. For example, because of natural selection by random mutation. But a belief is just a coping mechanism. It's just a story you tell yourself about the nature of reality to cope with your fear of the unknown.
You are so busted.
You have no fucking idea who you really are, or where you really are, or why you're really here. And deep down in the places we don't talk about, that profound unknown that is sitting there in your belly during every waking moment, and plenty of your sleeping ones too, terrifies the fuck out of you.
I really don't like you. Seriously.
And that's why, despite your fervent religious, scientific, and atheist beliefs that you can eloquently and passionately argue for and even convince yourself that you're right about,
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit. A bullshit.
This bullshit has some broader implications. Here's a list of tips on how to avoid bullshit happening.
you can't even choose to have a silent mind for 10 fucking seconds. You have zero peace and zero control over the voice in your head that never shuts up, that you think is you.
Okay, I'm recusing myself from this situation. Thank you very much.
All you have is the cope of your beliefs.
Fatality.
I, on the other hand, have put in the work and put in the hours. 23 years of them to be exact.
Sound like a real nigga to me.
So I do know who I really am, and where I really am, and why I'm really here. And I know that because I am at peace, and I can choose to have a silent mind for 10 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes, or even longer, anytime I want.
He is the one.
Is he though?
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
I've mastered my mind, and that's why I'm the wisest motherfucker in the room. Now, whereas every baby boy has the same purpose to self-actualize, each baby boy also has a unique contribution to make to the species, just as each oak tree, frog, and butterfly is unique. That is your higher purpose, and you discover that along with your deeper identity and your existential location as you develop the spiritual dimension of your being. Which begs the question, if the purpose of a man's life is to fulfill your potential physically, mentally, and spiritually, and the spiritual dimension is your deeper identity, existential location, and higher purpose, how the fuck do you discover your deeper identity, existential location, and higher purpose? I thought you'd never ask.
Surprise, motherfucker.
The shit's chess, it ain't checkers.
You do what adolescent boys from every human culture on the planet, apart from modern Western culture, it's not called the Matrix for nothing, have done to find their deeper identity, their existential location, and their higher purpose for 300,000 years. You embark on your hero's journey initiation into your deeper identity, existential location, and your higher purpose. And that's why I'm on a mission to inspire red-pilled men to forget about women and go your own way, the wise way, the hero's journey initiation way, so that you get to live your very best life by becoming your very best self. Click the link in the description to discover the life-changing power of a hero's journey initiation.